From the Mocha-Metal Show at Hellfire Radio, as you can see here, and I am with Soul Shredder.
And we have to see here?
Yes, we can see here, yes. Bit of promotion.
It's in our t-shirt.
Where is the t-shirt?
There we go. So we've got Stu, Marina and Ed over here. Okay guys, so as we had a discussion earlier, we said that basically you've just recently sort of joined the band, so we say a year and a half, so it's...
Yeah, about a year and a half.
Yeah, so the new record that you're doing now, that is going to be the first time you've been on a record with these guys, is that correct?
Yes, yeah. That's correct.
How's it all going for you?
It's going.
Yeah, so basically they do like the instrumental part, like basically he does the instrumental part, and they also add some like their own compositions, and I write the voice.
Yeah.
Then we rehearse and everything.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, it's a bit of a work in progress, isn't it? Because we're doing it, because we do all the recording ourselves, instead of us having everything, we're just sort of building it slowly over a period of time, and just when we're free, really. Sort of stuck to it. When you're doing it yourself, you're sort of stuck to the thing of, it's great not having a deadline, but then not having a deadline means that things don't get done as quick as they need to. But it's probably about 60%.
Yeah.
Ish.
So I was going to say, because like some of you is obviously going to be sort of like into the music, what kind of stuff, what kind of programs and stuff maybe you using to record, or like are you doing sort of like reamping, or anything like that basically? How's the recording process work for you guys?
The vast majority, it's all done through Pro Tools for me with the guitars.
Yeah.
I have reamped and stuff, but usually I've got a sort of set tone I'm quite happy with, so
yeah.
Record it all. I use a digital amp, goes all through that. The drummer uses Superior drummer Rick, he uses that, so it's all done in our sort of role. Suppose you use your...
Yeah, I'm gear acquisition central, so I switch around. At the moment it's a sort of Sansamp VTRM and RPM kind of blend that I'm playing with.
Yeah, sure.
I'll probably end up just giving it as a straight DI to Stu and I'll decide what I sound like.
Okay.
But it's nice to play.
I'll tell him he's with
No, cool.
He comes to me for mastering anyway, so
yeah.
I'll work out what we sound like.
Hey, so I was going to say, compared to like your previous stuff or the stuff you've been working on previously, like since you've been introduced to the band, has there been much of a change of sounds?
In sound, yeah.
Yeah.
It's with Marina having a different style voice to Cookie, our old singer. It's sort of it's giving the sound a little bit of a different, slightly direction. I think the main idea of it and the main sort of feels the same, but
it's almost become more overtly female fronted, because Cookie, for where her voice actually sat in the mix, it could be where sort of the top end of the guy's range was.
Yeah,
so
sure.
It sounded much lower. We've gone to more operatic, hitting the high
Yes,
notes.
in fact they have to move the sounds a little bit.
Yeah.
We should shifted the tuning up from E flat to E
Yeah.
guitars.
Okay.
Step down. So
it has changed it a bit, but not enough where the old songs don't still work.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. Yeah. So you kind of managed to kind of like adapt to songs, so you can obviously keep them in your arsenal.
We were prepared to ditch them and start from
fresh.
Well, that's if it didn't work, then but we tried it. Unfortunately, we did.
Yeah,
Oh, that's good.
we have to play all songs.
Yeah.
Well, when Cookie left, we sort of had a discussion at the time where, because it took us so long to find a singer in the first place, when we originally found Cookie years and years ago now, we didn't know how long it was going to be to find another singer, and we didn't want to, I think at that point, we didn't want to limit ourselves to just looking for a a singer that
Yeah.
was the same style as Cookie,
No,
or even necessarily, a female stay as a female fronted band. So I think we'd all had a sort of chat at the time and saying, look, do you want to keep searching for a singer until you find a singer that's exactly the same as the previous one, or do you want to find a singer who is a good singer and that you're happy playing with?
Yeah.
And fortunately we didn't have to come to that decision again anyway, because it all ended up happening quite quickly. But at the time we were quite prepared to just sort of start fresh. And
I was going to say, how did you find the band? How did this all come
It's
about?
because a friend of mine knew the band,
Yeah.
and he also knew that I was looking for a band, so he actually told me, you should do the casting.
Yeah, I
So
see.
it wasn't long at all, was it really?
Was there much of an audition process?
It was 2 auditions actually.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
They were more or less of an audition because Marina sent us a video of her singing, so we knew she could sing.
Yeah, sure.
I think for us it was always like we did in the past when we'd get people in, we'd do it more as it's a couple rehearsals, but it's more of a thing to see the personality and everything, because we knew she could sing.
Yeah.
So we knew that side of it wasn't necessarily an issue, but you want to make sure you gel. So that seemed to work in the past when we've had to, when we got Rick's, and it was the same sort of thing. When you joined, it was the same sort of thing, wasn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. It's obviously I wasn't recording myself at that point, but from that point forward, it's always just been 2 recorded rehearsals. And just don't worry about the tape that's running in the background. Just leave it going, and then listen back and think, yeah, actually, that's all right.
Okay. I suppose the only other things really is any idea when your new album? We had this discussion. Any idea roughly where we could expect it?
I'm hoping
tomorrow.
Yeah. There you go. I'm going home now. Okay. Hopefully back later. I don't know in terms of time. I think we released the first song on Spotify. How long ago was that now? A couple of months ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a few months.
And we've got another couple that are sort of getting to that point where they might be close to getting released and stuff like that. We've recorded everything and just needs mixing.
Okay.
And like I said, we've been building up slowly over a period of time. I'm hoping for the beginning of the year probably. But I haven't got a set thing, and I think at the same time, whereas we need to sort of set our own deadline and say we need to get it done by this, I think the beauty of doing it ourselves is that if we come to it and we're not happy with something, we can
change it and do it.
I'd rather do that and come out with something that we really want to do than try and force ourselves to do it.
Yeah, no, so I know what you mean, like the pressure of a deadline and stuff like that. So you've kind of got I can see your point. Okay, so what's your gig line up for the rest of the year then?
We've got one other gig for the year, because we wanted to make sure that we've got time to finish the recordings and stuff like that. So we had this as the main one for the last half of the year, and then we've got one more lined up at the end.
October, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the Mulberry, and then I think that'll probably be it for the year.
Okay.
I'd rather at that point concentrate on
getting the
because it's making sure we've got weekend free to record vocals and stuff like that. I can do the guitars in my own time.
Yeah.
Riz can do the drums in his own time because he just does it from his own. You can same again, and Tom as well.
Yeah.
The guitarist, he can come because he just lives down the road from me, so he can come over whenever we need to record anything like that. It's vocals with us needing to do it in a room with the right acoustics.
That's fair.
Rick's is the only one that's got one with the right acoustics. So I live next to a busy road. You live next to like a big.
Not doing natural reverb and toilets and bathrooms and stuff like that.
No, let's not do that.
No. So I think for the rest of the year, I think it's booking some time out and getting it all finished. I'm hoping for, if not the end of the year, the beginning of next year. I think we're pretty much set on what we're putting on it now, and in terms of songs, so it's just getting them.
Okay.
It's a big good kick-off for a new year, that.
Yeah.
Because here's my random question for the end then. So, because I run my own sort of coffee merch company called Mocha-Metal Merch. Tea or coffee? Choose carefully.
Tea.
Blasphemy. No, that's fine.
Do I have to choose any? Don't drink hot drinks.
What? No, that's fine. Okay.
Just say coffee.
It's
cool.
Yeah,
Quality.
Definitely coffee. fine.
I like the smell of coffee. I'll go coffee.
Okay.
I'm hooked on those little
That's
sachets.
pretty good one. No, that's cool. Other than that, thank you for this. Thanks for having us. So yes, some more to come later today. So this is Soul Shredder. Mark, say hello to the camera.
Hello, camera.
There we go. Hi, it's Chris from Hellfire Radio for the Mocha-Metal Show, and we are with Elusion. And you guys are from Belgium.
From Belgium.
So, how did you guys end up at Aoniafest?
Well, I think it was last year we did a gig with Aonia when they were on tour with All Weight, band from France. We played together in a small cafe in Holland. It was a really great gig. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And they mentioned the Aoniafest, and they said, well, if you're interested, you can always contact us. You can reserve a spot for you guys. So that's what we did.
That's bucket. No, that's awesome. I was going to say, so you guys are currently on a mini tour then in the UK, as we were just discussing. So where have you been, or where are you going? What's the next stop? Or where have you been? When did it start? Friday?
It started Friday.
Yeah. So where did you start off?
We started off in Tamworth.
Tamworth?
Yeah.
Is that where's Tamworth?
Yeah,
That's just Birmingham, isn't it?
Yeah, in the vicinity of Birmingham.
Yeah. That's
So
close enough.
We started there in a small pub.
Yeah.
Not that many people there, like
No.
20 people or so.
Yeah.
But they were all very enthusiastic, so really nice evening for us. And then tonight was really
Yeah, I was going to say tonight's been
a great
pretty
show.
Good. Yeah.
Awesome.
What's your next stop then for tomorrow?
Tomorrow we're playing at the Queen Folk Festival in Birmingham. Yeah.
Oh, right, so you're heading back sort of that way.
Back south.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
On our way back home.
Is this the first time you've played the UK? You played him? That's the first time.
Really is the first time, so
no,
pretty exciting for us.
Can I ask, how does it compare to playing at home? Like, is the crowd
Do you see our shows hanging open? Because the atmosphere is completely different. Back home, when we play in Belgium, people are like this.
right?
And here, people were cheering.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's true. Also, like they buy some stuff, t-shirts, CDs.
Yeah, the merchandise is crazy. Yeah.
But at our place, like Belgium, no one buys something.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, you did a really great gig.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
we
then
like your
they go
music.
home
And now we're going home.
I take
So-
it to obviously get this tour on the way. I take it it's all self-funding, is it? If you literally paid out of all your pocket and that, and you just like gone ahead and done it, then
Yeah.
No, fair enough. Are you any more plans to maybe come back here, like to do another
I
tour at some
think
point?
because like the point that you just mentioned is like if we feel like we sell more merch here and we get paid decently here,
Yeah.
then I don't know for the rest of the band, but I think that we should come here more often. Because it's of course it's an investment of money for getting here, but I think the payout is much better in the end. So, and of course it's not all about the money, but I think if we're all having day jobs ourselves, so we don't want to invest more money than we are with it. But I think it's maybe a smart idea to come back and like play for these insane crowds, because that's a feeling that I get from it. It's an insane crowd.
I wanna ask you a question, which is not one I've asked tonight because I don't do politics. I don't do politics anyway. Because the question I want to ask you is, because obviously coming from Belgium over to the UK,
Okay,
how do you think? How do you think this whole fiasco of Brexit is going to impact you guys? I know the reason I say that is because it's interesting to get it from a perspective that isn't always based in the UK.
To me, I feel that like we were planning a tour around this one gig, and like a lot of the other gigs were confirmed after the Brexit got postponed. So I don't know what it means for Belgian bands, but for us it was definitely like, because of Brexit, it took longer for venues to book us. Like they were kind of waiting for how is this Brexit thing going to turn
You
out.
mean more how we look at the
Well,
everything's
but
happening?
I think for me it's more about like how do you think that's going to impact you from, say, like if you book a tour for the UK like next year, do you think that could potentially impact you from ever coming back over here without, I guess, I think the main concern would be like money again, because obviously there's a chance that you might have to pay to come across gear, merchandise, because of customs and stuff like that.
It's going to be more complex,
Yeah.
definitely.
So what does the future hold for you guys? What's your next steps in your musical careers? I mean, you've got another album coming out, you've got EPs you're working on, anything like that in the future?
Well, yeah.
We already started making a new song, our first inline. We got lots of ideas to make other songs for already the next CD. And further, we are trying to do more gigs, especially like not only in Belgium, but for example Spain, Germany, France, you name it. Just to promote the whole CD. So England was a good start for that.
Yeah, no, I can imagine.
So,
how can people listen to your music?
We're everywhere. That's the thing that the label does well, is that we're with Artgates Records.
Yeah.
And I checked yesterday, we're even Apple Music and like Spotify. We're everywhere.
That's quite, it's a nice feeling, isn't it, when you can see your music on places like that, so it's cool. Okay, well, thank you for your time. That is Elusion, so...
Coffee.
Oh, okay, sorry, yes. My random question for you. Tea or coffee?
Coffee. It depends on the amount of whiskey you pour in.
So coffee, that'll do. So coffee there as well.
No, for me definitely tea.
Oh,
I'm a drummer, so...
That's good. No, wonderful. Thanks for your time anyway. Thank you. Yo, Chris from Hellfire Radio here with White Raven Down. Hey! Yeah, so basically, guys, so it's the first time I've actually seen you play live. So, not because, obviously, you know, just lifestyles, you know, trying to get down to you guys. Where are you all based from? So I know, obviously, where you live.
Yeah.
You asked before. So where are the rest of you guys from?
We're all from Southend.
All from Southend?
Southend.
I was only in Southend the other day, oddly enough.
Yeah, it's a perfect opportunity.
Yeah, there we go.
We weren't late.
No worries.
Hi guys.
He's on live, everyone, he's on live.
I'm not busting in, I'm sorry.
It's fine, it's fine.
Come through,
Squeeze me, please.
It's live.
So, yeah, obviously, first and foremost, I have to say, even though the bass string had a bit of a boo-boo, that was a pretty epic, sort of like run to the, did you go to the van? To pick
Ran
up?
to the van.
That was pretty epic, and I have to say, the guitar solo and the Queen theatrical in-between was pretty awesome. So,
Thinking on your feet.
that's exactly it. So, obviously, you are the latest edition, is that correct? Tom, are you the latest
Me
edition?
and
Yeah, we're basically.
How long has White Raven Down been going?
well,
Stu, he's always got a story.
yeah, we've been trying to put it together for a series of 3.5 years, maybe 4 years, but we didn't get a steady lineup till about 2 years ago now.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And really, what happened is that we put our EP out because we needed something to try and get gigs with.
Yeah.
And what happened is that our EP sort of went shot off and was being really well received, and we're like, shit, I've got to fucking catch up with it. And so,
Is that?
yes, yeah.
You didn't catch up with it?
Yeah, and you know, performances like tonight make you go, we haven't got over it at all.
To be fair, though, I like to say, I mean, like, you guys handled that really well, and obviously you had, like, the stage presence was really good, which was really cool. I mean, from the yeah, I'm not going to go too far in depth in the past about my musical experiences, but I have to say, like, you can see you kind of click well on stage.
Yeah, we do.
So when that thing, the bass string did happen, you were quickly there to kind of cover it, which was kind of cool. A lot of bands I've been in especially would be like, you know, what do I do? What fucking play me?
But obviously we had to.
That's what we
had
did
to give
inside.
it a stick.
Yeah.
I expect no less.
To be fair, didn't it go in the first song?
First song.
That was yeah, that was that's one of those things. Do you know what I mean? And it happens. But I was going to say, so you start off the EP. What is in the future for you guys then? What are you thinking? Like, what's your next step?
Next Friday.
No, you do it because you can tell us. You know what we're allowed to say and what we're not.
Oh, yeah. This is a conspiracy.
Yeah, exactly, conspiracy. So Friday coming.
Yes.
We have a brand new music video coming out.
Third one.
Yes, this will be our third music video.
And this is a song from the current EP, is it, or is this something completely?
I'm not going to say anything.
Oh, okay.
But what I will say is that it's been produced by Romesh Dolan-Goda,
Right.
who has worked with Motorhead, Put It For My Valentine, and Bring Me the Horizon,
Nice.
Stone Broken, bands that are way better than us.
Just saying about it from close up to this. So, yeah, no, so how did you, what can you say? How did you manage to wrangle this?
Yeah, well, modern technology and emails.
Yeah, is it all like,
Yeah,
it was down
it
for
was
us?
really into it. It was like this is really entertaining stuff, and I really like it. And, you know, it doesn't work with anyone.
No. No, I agree. I mean, like, to be fair, like, yeah, I don't really. Sometimes you can email people, and it almost seems a bit of a chore to want to reply.
Yeah.
You're like, for God's sake, just reply to me. No, that's kind of cool. So, obviously, the EP side of things. Are you already started with the next record, or
We're pretty much, yeah. To be fair, we've got bass.
Yeah.
Bass down.
There is
play
production.
down.
As soon as I get a new string, I can lay it down.
There's 2 tracks to lay down bass, and that is it. And then it goes off for mixing.
so what? You've got a release date in mind?
We wouldn't want to lie to
It
you.
will be this year.
When it's ready.
When it's ready. Everyone's been saying, like, yeah, when it's ready.
The
So
thing
this
is,
one.
it wouldn't also just be. It's not just the EP.
No.
We like to do some music videos with it as well.
Oh, yeah,
so
no, that's fair enough.
it needs to be enough time for us to shoot the music video, and so on and so forth.
No,
So
that's agreeable. So for the next, well, is it going to be an album or an EP? Is that something that's or
it's going to be an EP.
yeah?
It's definitely going to be an EP.
And sound-wise, between the EP that you've just released now, or not now, but the latest one, is that going to be? Is it sounding completely different to the stuff you guys do, or is it the same kind of?
We're keeping our
Because I
sounds.
feel like I want to say like you've got kind of like a southern vibe. Is that right?
Really?
I feel like I can hear like a southern like metal vibe in some of the riffs you play.
Yeah.
Oh, we've heard it all now.
Yeah.
So is that kind of is it the same kind of style as what you've been doing now, or is it going to be sort of like you've got different elements that you've never done before, experimental side?
We are keeping keeping in our own style, but the thing is we have grown together, working together, so the style has evolved to something stronger, but
Get
still.
some Katy Perry then, excellent.
Featuring Katy
I want to
Perry.
hear you raw. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was going to say, like, I mean, for yourselves, like, who are your biggest influences and stuff like that?
Just to go round.
So go for
It's
it.
an interesting one, isn't it? Because we all have different influences, and that brings different elements to the table.
Yeah.
Which is where us as a band is a little bit difficult to like sort of
Pinpoint.
It was a simple question, Stu, and you're complicated.
Yeah. Thanks, mate.
Oh yeah, I cannot complicate it all night, mate.
No, that's cool. How do you find when you write songs though? Do you find they come out easily? Do you gel together really well? So, like for example, if you come up with a riff or like that, are you able to easily complement that with what you do?
The process is quite quick though. I mean, it's only come with from Stu. You know, he come with some kind of riff, and then we go to studio.
Yeah.
And we normally come up with some kind of structure. You know,
Sure.
so that process in writing is really quick, and he's come up with loads of material. So I could say for the future, you got loads to offer. You know, it's just never ending, is it?
Well, that's always good though.
Yeah.
Nothing worse than when you have like a band out and you're like, oh shit, what am I going to do? Do you know what I
The
mean?
difficulty, honestly, is selecting, what riffs to use. Because there is, I've got phones and dictaphones all, stored up full of it.
No, I have to sympathise with that because sometimes I sit there and I'm thinking through like a file or something of something I've recorded previously, and I'm like, holy shit, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't even remember writing that, if that makes sense. And it's like, how do I even play that?
That's great because the inspiration hits you, and you're like, now I know where that idea should go. Because generally, because also I beatbox into my phone quite a lot.
That's not what it sounds like.
I think if you say that because I watched an interview or one of the YouTube things with Ola England. I don't know if you're familiar with his YouTube videos, but he was talking about that. So like, if he comes up with a riff, he'll be like,
it's the same person.
Second time. You should know better, young man.
So like he would say something like that. So he'll come up with a riff, he'll like almost like beatbox that riff, and then he'll sit there and try to play it out on the guitar, and then obviously with that tuning and stuff like that. So you saying that is kind of
that's what he does.
Yes,
and it goes to prove that does actually work quite well. It's quite a good songwriting scenario.
I made the mistake once of putting it on our chat. No, they go. I'm saying these guys.
That's not what it sounds like. And it's very disturbing when you get it at 4:30 in the morning.
Guys, listen to this. I've got such a great idea.
It sounds like a machine phone call.
Okay, guys. So
how do you know it's not?
Hey! What I'm going to leave you with then, so to remind me, so your next gig was Friday, did you say Friday? It's come Friday? No, music video's Friday, sorry.
Yes,
so when is your next gig?
16th.
Yes,
16th.
Los Angeles, isn't it?
Yeah, we're at
Los Angeles.
Los
Angeles.
So Los Angeles is full of our past members of Alice Cooper band, Slashy Snake Pit, and Gilby Clark band.
And when is this taking place?
This is the Wednesday the 16th. And then we've got the 18th, we're at the Musician in Leicester, supporting our record label pals, House Addiction.
Okay.
And then we're after that, we are in the 1st November in the venue South End, and then the big one, Hard Rock Hell.
Yeah. My territory. So I will be there.
Yeah.
Backstage. I'm going to leave you this question then. So, Mocha-Metal Lurch and the Mocha-Metal Show. Tea or coffee? Choose your best.
Coffee man.
Depends on the time.
Yeah.
Morning.
First thing in the morning when I get up, I always have a cup of tea. But as soon as I get to work,
coffee.
I'm straight on coffee.
Well, yeah, it makes sense.
Driving home from shows, coffee.
Right, and there we go. So, thank you very much for tuning in.
Cheers, guys. See you later.
There's Chris from Hellfire Radio and the Mocha-Metal Show. We are here with Fyresky.
Hey.
Right. So, obviously the camera's over there, so we're gonna.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a bit of a kind of a spontaneous gig in a way, isn't it? Because like, so what is this all about? So what happened here?
We played Aoniafest last year, and the general rule here is, so that everyone gets a fair chance, is that you don't play consecutively. So all of the bands get to go.
Yeah.
We had a gig booked up in Scarborough, and the venue closed down.
We literally found out about it. Was it last
2 days?
2 days before the show, yeah. And so Craig and the guys in Aonia turned around and went, "Fuck it, you're coming back." I am allowed to swear on this one, aren't I?
No, that's where we want. We have no concerns
the
for that.
response that we got was mad. I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, the fact that it was so quick. We did have several promoters message us because we've got some friends out in Leeds and Scarborough and that way that were trying to help us out. But as soon as they
we had to take
it's like, yeah, we're going.
No, cool.
We snap that up.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I was doing a radio show and obviously announcing all of that, and then after I finished, I had Melissa message me saying that basically, oh yeah, we've got another band to line up. I was like, oh shit! I was like, I've listened to all the other bands. I was like, oh my god! So to me, obviously, hearing you guys tonight is the first time like since I've properly heard you all. So I was going to say, was I right in saying this is your second show?
Third show.
Third show.
Yeah.
How are you
I
finding
can't count. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's fine. How are you finding it?
I'm really enjoying it. These guys are incredible. The energy on stage is immense. I come off and nearly die. No, I'm really enjoying it. I managed to learn the songs real quick because I've been a fan of these guys for 3 years now. Yeah, really good fun.
Oh no, motorbike.
Doctor! We've been invaded. No, that's okay. No, okay, fair enough. So you took it on quite a challenge then to learn the tracks which were previously done. So what, did you have another guitarist? So what was the deal with that?
Work schedules,
work schedules and restrictions mainly. We don't really want to go too much into it because it's still processing at the moment.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. So Nicole graciously offered to step in with 10 days between
we've had
me
one
asking
rehearsal.
And
10 days and a single rehearsal.
Festival.
One rehearsal, yeah, first.
It's kind of
With
ironic.
record-breaking numbers turning up.
That's
In
kind of
Oxfordshire.
ironic. Kind of ironic because that's exactly what happened to you when you joined my old band.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I have a habit of picking people up with 10 days notice, I'm sorry.
Just don't. So yeah, that was through your friends, was it? You say that you managed to get into this. How did you get into it again? Sorry.
First person.
3 years ago we played at a venue in Brentwood called the Hermit, and it was our two bands playing together.
Yeah.
And Nicole's sort of hung on a little bit, which is really lovely, to be honest, because down south you don't get a lot of people that do hang on to bands and follow bands and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or at least if they do, it's all online rather than coming out face to face.
Yeah.
So it's really quite lovely. And then our current guitarist, keyboard player, got a new job, and his work restrictions, his work schedule's been really restrictive. And so I asked Nicole for a favour.
First person we thought of.
Yeah, first person we thought of. And to my surprise,
it's turned out pretty well.
With that short notice, she said yes.
It turned out very well.
Did I see you playing? Was that a 7-string you were playing?
Yeah. 7-string, yeah.
Was there a lot of adapting involved in this?
I did have to completely re-tab most of our songs for it.
Gabriel's been so helpful with giving me tabs and resources to help me learn that quickly.
No, that's cool.
We do have a gent song in the workings.
No, we don't. No.
Awesome. I was going to say, so influences. What's everyone's influences then?
Oh, I'm a mixed bag. Jesus.
You ask this guy, he'll show you his arm with Post Malone on it.
Yeah, I basically got. Right, I'm just gonna.
He's just gonna get his arm. All his influences are on it.
This is the X-rated interview. You got Slash there, Joey Jordison, got Post Malone there, got The Weeknd, Stuart Copeland, Chad Smith.
Yeah.
A lot of very different bands.
Yes, yeah.
Well, that's the way of showing the influences, isn't it?
This guy made me play this song, this guy made me play this style, this guy made me do this.
If anyone asks, I just start stripping.
Yeah. Can I ask who come up with the makeup? Because the makeup's fantastic.
It was you who started doing it, wasn't it? And I kind of followed on, because when I first, I was like, I'm not doing it,
And then you immediately did it.
Yeah, I kind of
it helps with
wiggled into
confidence and that when you're on stage. You can become more than
something else.
I know what you mean.
It's a different thing to add to the performance, I think, having a visual there to look at.
Exactly.
What's the future hold for you guys then? What's your next steps?
Plan really, we're looking at potentially booking up a week, if not 2 weeks at a time tour, long time in advance, because we all have work schedules and uni, and I've got kids and stuff to deal with. So, so it will be at least a 2-week tour. Probably to continue supporting the album The Grand Illusion, which came out in May.
Where can we find that?
That is available on all of the streaming sites. Literally everywhere. CD Baby have been amazing, and they just post it everywhere for us. And we also have physical copies that we mail out, and or someone has to
look on our website.
Keeping to the physical side.
Everything's on the website. So
physical copies.
I'd love to.
I'd love to play Europe.
I'd love to play Europe.
Europe is a goal. Europe is a goal. Scotland is a goal.
Yeah.
Provided that Boris doesn't do a Boris. Well, that's the less we say on that better, because I am...
No politics?
I'm very political, so I'll keep my mouth shut.
No, that's fine.
But yeah, so that's the long and the short of it, and then after we've done that and got everything settled with where we're going in the future and that sort of thing, then we'd be looking at writing and recording for the next record.
Get some more material done. Constantly changing the sound.
My last and final question is a random question. or coffee?
Coffee.
Tea.
I don't like tea. I don't like tea.
Tea.
Beer?
Beer's acceptable.
Red wine or cloven hoover rum.
Yes.
Who have been supporting
How can you all not say coffee don't make you do this? You know what I'm saying? Okay.
I'm sorry, dude.
Anyway, so this has been Fyresky.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Aonia! Hello! Okay, so like I said before, I've never interviewed, obviously there's not people in one go, so nerves. Yeah, so can we start by saying, so Aonia, so the meaning behind that, I just, you know, like I have heard, there's quite a nice way of describing it, so how do you describe the band?
So the meaning of the word is it's a place in Greek mythology and it means where the muses dwell. We just think that's quite a nice, pretty, poetic image, and a lot of our music comes from literature and mythology, so a lot of our lyrics come from those sorts of things, so it links in quite nicely.
Yeah, sure.
And it's pretty. And
We're going pretty rather than pretentious.
Yeah, it is pretentious. You should hear you should hear all the different pronunciations of it as well, so
yeah,
it's fantastic.
I found out when I was doing obviously when I was put on the radio, I was like, sounds right, you know what I mean? Like, there was a generalised panic. I was also going to say as well, so I'm going to ask this question, influences, because I can imagine in the band with this many people there's going to be a lot of influences, so I don't know if you want to take it in terms like some of your, you know, like basically what you listen to or what's inspired you in the band.
Jazz, mate. That's
Jazz.
the influence.
It's hard to answer this without sounding pretentious.
Try.
But it's already started.
Yes, jazz.
Guys, can you speak up, please?
Yeah.
Okay, my main influences are Dream Theatre and classic music. But anything.
Yes.
If I could say one thing to anybody out there is just listen. Whatever the music is, sit down and actually listen.
That's quite.
And get influenced by everything.
That's cool.
There you go, be there.
Classical music and opera, sung some opera in the past, and I know it's a stereotype when you're a woman who sings operatic metal, but floor dancing I just think is absolutely incredible. And lately we've been working on broadening our style a little bit, so adding in some sort of musical theatre style belting. So we've received some training from Gemma Lawler of Dehesis, down at Capstarex, I hope I said that right, studios. She's done some vocal coaching with us, so I would definitely class Gemma as an influence as well.
Oh, cool. I was going to say with the Aoniafest itself, from the first time you started, how did it come to manifestation, if you want to put it like that? How did this come about?
It was Joe's baby in the beginning.
What was?
Aoniafest. Oh yeah.
Okay, so my question was, so Aoniafest, how did it come to manifestation? So from then to now, and obviously like what created it, what made you want to do this?
It was just to give bands a platform to play, come together, and work with bands from different influences, to give those bands a platform to play and create live music basically. The first one we had Blaze headlining, so that was a great experience for everyone, for bands to see that happen, and from that obviously me and Mel were then invited to sing on the Blaze album, so that was amazing.
Oh, nice.
But from where it is now, we're just getting bigger, and we hope that we can make friends with more bands and create more.
I was going to say it's definitely a good way to embrace all the all the new music coming through.
And we've got a massive network of people now, haven't we, in terms of bands, and they're all so lovely, and everyone supports everybody, which is really, really important.
I was going back to Blaze Bailey side of things again. So how did you get in contact with him? How did this come into circulation? Because obviously that must be quite a good, like struck gold moment.
Yeah, well, we just contacted a few members of the band were Iron Maiden fans, and Blaze Bailey fans, and we just said, wouldn't it be really cool if we got Blaze Bailey to come play the festival? Okay, let's just send him a message, and he was like, yeah, up for it. And then about, I don't know, a month before the festival, we asked him to do, we could do a song with him, didn't we? And we said, he'll probably say no. And we asked him, should we do Man on the Edge together? And that's now kind of our little cover song that we did for ages. We were like, oh, that was so good. Because we obviously we played and he sang and it was amazing. And then it was from that song that we did together, and he came to me and Mel afterwards and says, we sound amazing together, love your voices, I want you on the album. And then the album turned into a trilogy. So yeah, it was like, oh my god, we're on 3 albums now. That is unbelievable. We were like, woohoo.
We went to Sweden and all.
Yeah, we did.
Because he did the first album in full at Husqvarna, and that was really cool. And he's on ours.
Yeah, and now he's on ours.
Yes.
Yeah,
I checked that track. That was really a track. I really did that.
How did you all get together? Was it like, did you advertise, or was it word of mouth, or how did you find each other?
Oh God! Well, Joe and I have been singing together for years. Joe's and my friendship predates metal. We were in the same operatic society. Not predates metal, but predates being in metal bands. Met pretty much everybody else through various music networking sites. Stuart helped us out, and we've been friends with Soul Shredder for a while. And last year at Aoniafest, our guitarist, who is now unfortunately left, couldn't make it. And so we'd asked Stuart if he would mind depping for us, and he jumped in and helped us out. So then when James left, because he's going to be a father, so it's really exciting.
He is a father.
He is a father, actually. He is a father. He's running around now. He's helping out a Backstage crew.
Oh,
But yeah, so when James left, we said, would you come and dep for us for a while? So Stuart's been depping for us for a few months.
I think what I was going to say, actually, now come back to me, was obviously now doing this festival and stuff, like how do you feel about, like, because I mean nowadays quite a lot of venues are shutting down and stuff, and it's making it even harder for bands to try to get out there. I mean, what do you think the future holds for this? What are your own opinions? Do you think it's going to get better? Do you think it's going to get worse?
I think that it's awful when venues close down, and unfortunately people aren't supporting them as much as they have in the past. I think that I don't think live music will ever completely die out. We are very lucky to be able to work with the corporation, because this is a fantastic venue with great facilities, great crew, and so we're very lucky to have this in Sheffield, and we've got some other really good venues in Sheffield as well, like the RS Bar. So we're quite lucky in this city. It is very sad that venues close, and I think that bands are going to have to maybe move with the times, move with technology, maybe embracing things like YouTube and live streaming. But if you can watch something on the live stream, it's never going to compare to the real thing, is it? What do you guys think?
No. But there is a plus side to that. If you do look around this venue and you look at the posters on the wall, and you see who's playing here, and how many new bands that are actually listed on these venues that are supporting, so the foothold is still there. There's still plenty of young kids like myself and Tim still playing, still wanting to get out there, still wanting to produce the music. So it's not dead, and it's not going to go anywhere. It just means we've got to work that a little bit harder.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. What's the future hold for you guys? I mean, what's your next steps? And I suppose the only other question is really is your next gigs for the rest of the year, like what have you got lined up as well? So it's a double question for this last one.
Next we are playing the Sophie Festival in Manchester, which is the 23rd and 24th of November at the Bread Shed in Manchester. So we're really thrilled to be invited there, and the organisers kindly also donated tickets to the raffle to the Sophie Festival. And so for the future, for us next, Tim?
is the Sophie gig. You just said, there's a new album. Yes, there's a new album. Yes, I realised.
I thought you might want to talk about that. Tim's had about 3 hours of sleep all week.
Yeah, no, it is. We're writing a new album. We shall have that recorded. Probably in the next 10 years or so, knowing how we do things. No, we've got about 3 or 4 songs pretty much finished. We've got ideas for other songs, so no, we will look at festivals and other gigs next year. We are already arranging Aoniafest IV for next year, so keep your eyes out for that. But yeah, no, the next work to concentrate on is a new album.
Excellent. Okay. So it's Chris from Hellfire with Aonia headliners. Apologies for the signal cutting out before, but hopefully you got the rest of the interview there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Cheers. Thank you.
To the